speaking of, let's jump into our NBA picks. Last episode, we did not have any NBA lines to go over. You gave us a shocking Levy Lock NBA pick to end the last episode. You don't have to do that today, though, because we have, what, 5 picks before the games tomorrow?
Yeah, we have a few lines out, Higgins, and I was just a little bit too early on the Charlotte Hornets. They've looked good since that game I bet on them. So that's kind of a bummer, but we dive into Monday night, Higgins. I'm looking at the Thunder at the Sixers. I think the Sixers probably see the Nets winning today, or on Sunday, excuse me, and think, that one seed would be nice to have the fourth home game here in Philly when the playoffs come roll around. So I think they're motivated for the end of the season here, Higgins. I don't think they'll be resting as much as other teams. I think seeding does kind of matter a little bit in the East because you do not want to be playing at Brooklyn in a game 7 with all the talent they have. So I don't know. Just something tells me I like Philly in this spot. The 10.5 points does not scare me. I think OKC's kind of that bad right now, and I think Philly's motivated to win these games and get that number one seed in the East.
I think the Sixers are the right pick in this game. I've just, as we've gotten later into the stretch of some of these regular season games, I've become more hesitant on some of these double digit lines because some of these teams that are fighting for playoff position, they may be pulling their starters a little bit earlier to try to get them a little more rest down the stretch here. So I don't like the double digit lines nearly as much. I do love a different East Coast line breadth, though, and that is between the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat. These two teams did just play. Miami won 106 to 101. The line is opening up at -4, and I'm taking the Heat here because the Heat just won at home against the Bulls by 5. They won their first matchup in Chicago by more than 10 points. They're going to go for the sweep on the season series against the Bulls here. I think they're going to get that done, especially when you look at Zach LaVine already being listed as out in this game for the Bulls.
Yeah, I don't know, Higgins. I feel like in a back to back, it's a lot of times there's a split because in the NBA, there is so much talent on both these teams, right? But I would lean your way, Higgins. I guess I would say Miami's the better team. They're the team that we kind of expect to be turning up this time of year. Chicago's looked really bad since the trade for Vucevic. Obviously, Levine going down as well has not helped that situation. He's dealing with some personal matters, so we hope everything's okay. But yeah, Chicago's just a tough team to back right now, so I would lean your way, but in a back-to-back situation, like I'm nervous. I could see a split coming very easily. Write that narrative.
I understand that with the back to back narrative, but at the same time, it's the exclamation point on your season series, so there should be some motivation for Miami as well, I think.
Fair enough. I'm gonna hop over to the West Coast, Higgins. Grizzlies Nuggets. Grizzlies playing a back-to-back. Nuggets are not. So I'm gonna take Denver -4.5 in this one, Higgins.
Okay. Okay, I like that pick. I think the Nuggets are really doing a good job this year with Jokic and Murray and all them, and I think they are going to defend at home well. We've talked about what the elevation does in some of these games, and later in the year, the bigger the impact that does seem to have. So I like your 4.5 pick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously no Murray with the ACL injury. Will Barton's also going to be out for an indefinite amount of time. So they're losing pieces left and right. But Michael Porter Jr. just had his career high the other night. Higgins, Monty Morris, an above average backup. Capuzzo, super fun guy to watch. He's like a 30-year-old rookie. So, yeah, this team's making it happen, making it work, even though they're losing pieces. Added Aaron Gordon at the deadline, so that added some depth in the front court. I just, I think Denver, with the MVP frontrunner in Jokic, they're going to find a way to make this happen. They've got the extra rest in this one, so the fresher legs. But you're on one more pick, Higgins, versus with the Pelicans involved, I see. And, they've been struggling of late.
Yeah, you just gave out your West Coast pick. I'm going to give out my West Coast pick here. It's in the Clippers Pelicans game, and I'm not necessarily picking either side in this one. I'm going by the data, by the stats in terms of taking the over in this. Over 227.5 as of Sunday night. I would not be surprised if by tip off that over under is over 230 because the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the league at hitting overs. The Clippers are the seventh best team in the league at hitting overs. So you put that together, that sounds like an over that should be above 230, especially when you've seen how well Zion's been playing recently against all mixes of competition, really. And then you saw Paul George the other night with that Moneyline Magic we gave, where he had a 33 points shiner in a game winner. So I expect this to be a high scoring affair between two West Coast teams. I expect them to keep it interesting, and as long as the game's within reach, like this spread indicates, at being 3.5, I think this over under will be in play. If one team kind of pulls away, I don't necessarily see that getting hit though.
Sounds good to me, Higgins. Those are all great reasons you gave out. Hopefully, the Clippers have their full, arsenal out there to help you hit that over of 227.5. We obviously giving out our picks well in advance of the lineups coming out. So, just make sure if you're placing a bet closer to tip off that you know what the lineups are.
Yeah, sometimes these early lines have bit us in the ass, Brett, but also sometimes it gives us some excellent or interesting value in a line that you might expect to move a lot. I really expect that over to be above 230 on Monday before tip off.